Really? Wow. I didn't have that. Anybody else have ice cream? Oh, okay. So y'all bought it. Okay, but you still had access to it. Okay. So during recess you had ice cream. How many of you growing up, whether it was in the sandlot, in the farm fields, or at school, played kickball or dodgeball, that kind of stuff? Yeah, most of you. How'd you go if you were the team captain? Because I was like two captains all the time. How did you go about picking your team? Fastest and strongest. Okay. What else? Anybody? Oh, come on. Y'all know you looked over everybody and go, Okay, best friends, fastest, strongest. What else? Anything? Pick the cute guys. One of the cute guys on your team, whether they were fast or strong or not. Okay. All right. So you're sitting between two cute guys today. That'd be Tyson and Walter. No, but okay, so if you were going to start a business today, what kind of business would you want to start? Just dream big. You're going to start a business, what would it be? A clothing line, okay, clothing store. So my granddaughter wants to do too, open up a store like that. You're going to start a business, what would it be? What's that? Horse farm, okay. Cattle with farm with cattle and horses, everything on it. Tyson. A football league, okay.
Barbecue restaurant.
A barbecue restaurant.
I only work 9 to 5, so.
Only work 9 to 5. I got you. So what kind of characteristics would you be looking at for people you were going to hire to work for you? What's that? Somebody knows about animals. That's what Les said. Randy? Who loves animals? Okay. Will they show up on time? That's it? Love animals and show up on time. Got to be honest. Okay. Dedicated. Anything else? Somebody with experience. What kind of experience? Related to the business field that you're starting. Okay. All right. That's insightful. Hire somebody who doesn't know anything so you can teach them. So why would hiring somebody who doesn't know anything? I think it's a great idea because you can teach them versus somebody with experience, which is also a great idea. What are the benefits of the two? Why is one more beneficial than the other? Okay, so they're not going to argue and say, no, I want to do it my way. It's the way I've always done it. Okay, no preconceived ideas about how to do something. Any weaknesses? They don't know anything. All right. Okay, so turn to Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5. Oh, yeah, that's kind of how it is today, right? I really want to experience it. I want to raise, this is Sunday, I want to raise on Wednesday or Tuesday. All right, so in Matthew chapter 5, Jesus has just come out of the wilderness, right? He's been calling some disciples. He is beginning his ministry. And he goes up on the mountainside. He sits down with them. And he begins to teach, right? Well, somebody would read 2 down through 10.
And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
So when Jesus is starting his ministry, when he's starting his earthly ministry here and he's teaching his disciples, and there's a large crowd of people gathering around to listen, okay? He starts off saying, these are the kind of people, the qualities and characteristics of people that are going to be in my kingdom, on my team. These are the kind of people that are going to spread the message. These are the kind of people that are going to add to the success of what we're doing to keep it going on. Because, as Jeff said earlier, I'm going to work 9 to 5, and who doesn't want to do that, right? I do have a friend, Paul Baxter, some of y'all know him. He works night shift at Tabasco. He's been offered day shift a few times. He goes, no, I want night shift. He loves the night shift. I'm like, why? He goes, nobody to mess with me. I got it all to myself. Kind of like what Jamie said. Everybody's telling me what to do. I know what to do. No interruptions, right? But this is Jesus starting his ministry. And he's saying, these are the qualities and characteristics of people that are going to be on my team. You notice he doesn't talk about people that are well-spoken, that have prestige or name, pedigrees. He doesn't talk about people that are the most popular. He doesn't talk about any of that. He starts off saying, blessed are those who are poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
What actually does that mean?
It means you got nothing, and you know it. You can't offer anything to God because he's got it all. Yeah, I mean, one of the ways to look at it is picture, you've seen on TV these commercials for children starving in Africa with the distended stomachs that are sticking out. They're just really skinny, and their stomachs are poking out from lack of food. They have nothing. They're destitute, and they need you. A baby needs you. Baby can be the most beautiful baby in the world or the ugliest baby in the world. It doesn't matter. It needs you to survive. And a poor spirit is not like, oh, a poor, pitiful me, but realizing I got nothing. You're God, I'm not. What am I going to give you other than a gratitude, right? What am I going to give you? Is the idea behind here. So I want you to look through these real quick and pick out one that you think that either most resonates with you or the one you struggle with the most out of these characteristics. Go. Take a minute to do that. It's okay. I know Brandon's filming this, but that's okay, y'all.
I like
Number 4, read it for us. All right, so that one resonates with you. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Remember that one. Get a couple more people, we're going to come back to each one. Thank you. Blessed are the meek. They'll inherit the earth. Okay, keep that one. We're going to come back to it. Give me a couple more here. Blessed are the merciful, so they will be shown mercy. One more. Blessed are the peacemakers. All right, so the first one we looked at was blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Now, bringing this to today, okay? Not many people are going to be wanting characteristics of people who mourn, who are sad and mourning all the time, right? That's not what you would say. Come on in. Blessed are those who mourn. Fortunate, happy are those who mourn, for they what? What? They will be comforted. Yeah. Why is it happy or fortunate to mourn? Because these are characteristics of people who will be followers of God.
So they talk in death, right? Or yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was when more like I was thinking my 2 boys.
Uh-huh.
And I am by the end of the day, whatever praying about that, I am confident at the end of the day.
Okay. Okay.
You always says blessed means better off.
Yeah, better off.
Or
we do receive that comfort because we know it's the Holy Spirit that's given it to us.
Okay.
That makes us in turn happy that we have them.
Right. Okay. So this kind of goes two ways. Okay. One of the ways absolutely has the imagery of what both of you were talking about. We're going to mourn and God comforts us. But it's also those who mourn over their condition. They're sinful. They're broken. On their best day, they are covered in mud before a holy God. And they mourn over their own condition. What's that? True. Absolutely. Absolutely. So there is the idea that when we mourn, we're comforted. God tells us that in 2 Corinthians chapter 1, we comfort those with the comfort we ourselves have received. Right? Paul says in 1 Thessalonians, we think it's chapter 4, we mourn, but we don't mourn like the world, like those without hope. Because we have a resurrected Lord. We mourn because we love and we miss and we want to be with. Or things haven't gone the way we wanted to go. We mourn over that. But we can find comfort because other people have been through it and they can speak into what we've been through and God's brought them through. That's one way. But when you think about mourning over your sin, you'll be comforted. What do you think about that? Yeah, Dixie said we have to lament, we have to acknowledge our brokenness, our sin, in order to be healed. Why is that? Yeah, if you're hiding it, keeping it in secret, you're not dealing with it, it's hard, right? What happens? There was a quote I put on social media the other day on NICOC. Anybody remember what it was about grief? I'm going to pull it up for those who don't remember it. It's by C.S. Lewis. Nobody remembers. Man, that's okay. A couple of y'all clicked on it. Not a big deal. Said I sat with my anger long enough until she told me her real name was grief. I sat with my anger long enough until she told me her real name was grief. C.S. Lewis obviously there's a song called, a book, and it became a movie, Shadowlands. Part of that deals with the passing of a wife, cancer. All right. But I sat with my anger long enough until she told me her real name was grief. What do you think, C.S. how would you communicate what that means?
Well, when I read that, it did me that because I kept on saying to myself, when sin passed, I was angry at people. I was taking a lot of things out of people. And I kept on saying, honestly, I wasn't mad at God for taking this step. I was just mad at people for just saying something or being ugly. They were doing stupid stuff and it made me angry.
Okay.
So it's fear. Anger is fear and something I can't control.
Anger is fear that you can't control. Okay.
Anger is known to be a natural part of the grieving process.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Either anger at God or anger at the person that you lost or whatever.
So anger would kind of be like a road bump, a roadblock, a bottleneck. You're kind of going through life, something happens that hurts, which causes you to grieve, but you get to a point and you just can't move past it. You ever heard that? People say, I just can't move past it. I'm not ready to move past it yet. That can be a lot of different things in life. Yes, ma'am?
It's better to have the anger than to have the apathy, though. Because if you're not going to, at least in anger, you move in the right direction.
Okay, so anger can be healthy, right? It absolutely can. We also know it's a foothold for the devil if we don't deal with it, which is what you're talking about. Apathy is like, whatever, I don't care. Hold on a second. I'm going to get your answer in a second. But anger is the idea that, I'm dealing with it. This is my emotion. I'm being real. I'm being honest. This is where I'm at. Yes, sir.
Part of being angry
So how do you're spot on.
And then, I need something that part of you.
I'm still angry about the way the government treated us in 68, 69 Vietnam. And used us. They think we know. I'm still angry at that.
Yeah. So you're stuck there. Okay, which plays right into what I'm talking about. Okay, you're spot on, and you're not wrong for feeling the way you feel. What the government did was wrong. You're probably never going to get an apology from the government. And this is what I mean by that. Sometimes we get stuck in a position in life and we don't move forward because we don't receive what we think we deserve. And maybe not what we think, what we know we ought to get. But we got to remember, we live in a fallen world. And people outside of Christ, and even those in Christ, are not always going to respond and act the way God would have them do. And so we get trapped, waiting for somebody else to do what we want them to do. And then in doing that, we're giving them power over us, and we're robbing ourselves of the grace and mercy and the comfort that God gives in our new identity, in holding us close. When you were younger, anybody, when you got hurt, when you were a little kid, you know, whether it was like, you know, scraping your knee or breaking your arm, okay, whatever the pain was, who'd you run to and why? Ran to mama.
Always made a bet, a Band-Aid on it, or what they get kids, and it was all better. She was on comfort.
No, I did it because I didn't want to stop camping, so I just applied that it wasn't broken.
Okay, you just dealt with it. But eventually you went somewhere because you were trying to suppress that pain because you didn't want to miss out on what you were doing. But sooner or later you had to give in and go, right? So, but yeah, when we run to the people we expect to give us comfort. In the world, sometimes our parents are supposed to do that. But in the world, that doesn't always happen. Just be honest, it doesn't. Either they're not equipped for it, because they didn't know how to, they didn't get comfort when they were growing up. They got stuck. Maybe they're not involved in our lives. Maybe they're just mean. Maybe they're, as someone said earlier, indifferent. Apathy. I don't care. Okay, you're hurt. Okay, whatever. Rub some dirt on it. My dad did that to me one time. Rub some dirt on it, you'll be fine. I was playing baseball. And he's right. I got hit with the ball. Ah, it hurts. All right, you'll be fine. Oh, he's sitting beside you, so I'm going to plead the fifth. No, but here's what I'm getting at. We get stuck. So does God bring comfort metaphorically or real? And if it's metaphorical, then men like Les and women like Jamie are going to, at times in our life, you're going to get stuck. It means all of us, right? You're going to get stuck because somebody doesn't do what they're supposed to do. And now you become a prisoner when you don't have to be. It's like the Eagles song. You already had the keys. Peaceful, easy feeling. Listen to it some one of these days. I already had the keys to get out, but you didn't use them. You get trapped. And the key is to give it to God. But oftentimes, we want to stay where we are because it's comfortable. You ever gotten so much, you just got used to the pain and the hurt that it's kind of become who you are? And to change from it would be scary because then what am I going to lean on? Then what's it going to be? But God is saying, blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. And here's where I'm going with this, okay? I'm going to come to the other ones, but this is, I think this is powerful, and I want us to talk about it for a minute. How do I tell somebody God will give you rest for your souls if I don't have it? Because then it's just feel-good pep talk, then we go out and get our butts kicked on the football field. You got it, boys. Delcom beat Catholic High 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago. Man, they were excited and pumped. Guys, y'all did it. Let's go. Now line them up against a really bad LSU team next weekend. Delcom High against LSU. We had Delcom Laurelville High against LSU. Man, guys, y'all beat Catholic High. You got this. Go. What are they thinking? You're crazy. But y'all won. You can do anything. I can't do that because it's too big and too powerful. So sometimes when well, hold on a second, Dixie. When we talk to people about come and you'll find rest, it's almost like we're telling people based on our life, yeah, you'll find rest, but kind of like me and Delcom, me and Laurelville, we're going to play LSU and we really can't do it. So it's nice to say, but it ain't going to happen. And we stay trapped. And then we try to hide it. We try to suppress it. And we get angry. And I appreciate what Les is saying, appreciate what Jamie's saying, and others. We get trapped in our anger, as an example, with C.S. Lewis's thing. We get trapped. We want out. But the thing about getting out is it's painful. Sometimes it's not as painful to be angry as it is to mourn and grieve. And we stay stuck. And when you apply that to our life to God, yeah, I'm ashamed. I don't want to deal with it anymore. Confess it? Oh, heck no. I don't want to bring it back up. Man, it just eats away at us. And we stay trapped, bottlenecked, logjam, can't get past it. Moving past it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It doesn't mean it didn't hurt immensely. The betrayal, what Les is talking about, the son dying in our minds way too early. Exactly. It also doesn't mean that you forgot. In other words, if you move past the death of your mother, your father, you move past the heartache of divorce, you move past the heartache of death, you move past the heartache of being fired, it doesn't diminish what happened. What happened was bad, and it hurt. But it's saying, I'm not going to let it hold me captive anymore. God says that I can find peace. I can be comforted. But to do it, I got to let go. It's just there, but I got to let go. Go for it. Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, I think that when we have Christ in our lives, we also have the faith that we can move through that season, that there's going to be something else.
Right.
So for people that don't have that, when they're mourning, when they're grieving, they can see that they're can be released.
Oh, absolutely.
For me, the book's for radical forgiveness when fear falls away, and then the Bible, it was like, this book was radical forgiveness. 1 year ago said, go get that book out of book bin.
Mm-hmm.
I have too many books for God to go read the book.
Right.
And I did this time, go get that book. And I finally got radical forgiveness, and it was really about whatever's happening right now. We've made this agreement. It's going to happen. That doesn't mean we want it to happen again. That doesn't mean we're going to stay there. But we're going to be okay with what we feel. We're going to forgive them for what their part in it. And sometimes you have to do it over and over again.
Oh, absolutely. A couple things. I do agree with you. The way we go through seasons. We've all been in seasons, okay? But here's the thing. Unless you communicate that to me, that you're in a season, doesn't mean much to me. Here's what I mean by that. From the outside looking in, okay? Not from a believer who knows you, but somebody who may have met you along the way or whatever, and you tell me you've been holding on to something for 10, 15 years, 20 years, 40 years, and so forth. And you're saying, if you tell me, look, God has been so good to me, He has comforted me in different areas of my life, but this is one area I'm stuck in. See, being vulnerable and real, that we can work with from the outside looking in. That's real. But to act like we're not stuck or to deny it doesn't help us grow, right? And it communicates something that's not true. God does help us And God does bring healing. So therefore, to Dixie's point, right here, I'm angry and I'm stuck. I'm trying to move forward. But in these other areas, God's really helped me. Sometimes, for me, I can't speak for y'all, sometimes it's because I haven't learned something that God's trying to teach me. Sometimes it's because I really don't want to let go. Sometimes because I don't know how to let go. It's something I've never experienced before. I've never been through before. This is new to me. Jennifer and I, we celebrated her birthday Friday night. And there was a moment when I thought, what would it be like? What will it be like when she's not here anymore? It could happen tomorrow. It could happen today. It could happen 20 years from now. I've never experienced that as a husband. I don't know how I would deal with it. I can say what I would do, but until it happens, I don't know. And that's where I have to fall back and rely on and lean into what God's done for me in the past. And what my brothers and sisters have been through, how God has brought them through times like that. And then to your point, Dixie, right now I'm in a season of grieving that I can't let go of. So, by way of example, right? You get caught. Or I'm in a season of anger. Or I'm in a season of confusion. Because there is a season for everything.
For me, it was an addiction.
Oh, an addiction. Okay, speak into that.
When I was angry, I felt more powerful, I felt more control, I felt like no one heard. So I liked being angry. I liked the power that I got almost like a mental high from it.
Okay, so let's back up real quick because I want to make sure everybody hears you. You felt like you got you saying angry. Why?
I got a mental high.
Okay, you got a mental high from it. Felt like you were in control, powerful, and they couldn't hurt you again. As long as I'm mad at you and I keep bowed up on you, you can't do it again. Okay.
And I'm the opposite. I don't like to be angry. I pray a lot. Like I don't want to be angry for that. Something stupid, something little. I don't like anybody being mad at me. I don't like being mad at anybody.
Right. Okay. So we see that speaks into we're all different. Our personalities, the way we were raised, our life experiences, what makes one person feel great, the other one can be apathetic towards it. Oh, that's okay, good. But for others, there's this idea, that one really gets me. That one works me up. And others, okay. One's easy to let go of, one's hard to let go of. I get it.
But that's why when you're sick, you have to get fear, and when you're not in fear, you have to get angry.
That's the goal, isn't it? Okay. So when you say the more faith you have, what are you saying? What do you mean by faith? Anybody can chime in, but what do you mean? Dixie?
For me, it's every now and then God goes, good morning, I've got this.
Yeah.
Enjoy your coffee.
Mm-hmm.
How do you?
Yeah.
And none of it is my control.
Absolutely. See, Hebrews 11, by faith, over and over again, right? Abraham went before he knew where he was going. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did not know that God was going to stop the fire. They just knew he could.
When you say my faith, okay, because the little story sits in my brain about the girl with the ball. She's so upset at me.
Mm-hmm.
The faith I'm supposed to have with that is, I'm asking, is that I have to have enough faith that one day she's going to come around?
No. In my opinion, yeah, Dad. Go ahead.
Okay. A few observations on this.
Yeah, we're headed there. But go ahead.
This whole section right here. Number one, who is Jesus talking to?
Is the original 12.
Yes, his disciples.
Right.
And in a couple of chapters, what is he going to be doing? He's going to send them out
Mm-hmm.
to proclaim the gospel or the good news of the kingdom.
Right.
And in this section right here, when he's talking about blessed are those,
Right.
the word blessed is makarios, which means fortunate are those.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the way I view this whole section is he is preparing them for the type of people to be looking for who are going to be receptive to the gospel of the kingdom. The way that would translate to us is that we have to understand
Right.
we can be peacemakers and have peace.
Mhm.
We can, be hungry and thirsting after righteousness to be filled and what have you. But we have to be able to communicate that to the people that we come to.
Right. Absolutely. It's hard to communicate that if we're stuck in it.
Exactly. You can't communicate it if you're still there. You haven't grasped the whole gospel of the kingdom.
Right.
And just want someone to forgive you or like you or whatever. That's a different thing. But God, you have, I prayed on this, I did the best I could, I reached out, I asked for forgiveness, and then to let it go.
Okay, so I want to speak into what Jamie said. So we got this person that you're not getting along with, and no matter what you try, she stays obstinate towards you. So I would say by faith this. Trust that God can work it out, okay? But by faith, my response to you would be, Jamie, love her in faith the way Christ loved you. Turn the other cheek the way Christ turned his other cheek, what he calls us to. To pray for the one who persecutes you. To pray for the one that drives you nuts. To ask God to speak into their life. And so by faith, I trust that God can, but even if he doesn't, a little bit later in Matthew, he says, if someone has a problem against you, go to them. You've done that. She's still not responding. Your job is to continue living Christ-like in any situation. You can't keep, you can keep doing that, from time to time, circle back around, but y'all have influence, y'all connect through pickleball and things like that. But our job in faith in that situation is to live out Christ.
You know as well as I do that when you're in ministry, let's face it, I've been picking on my experts, okay? And had I dwelt on that or not forgiven those people who were doing those things, I'd be a filthy mess right now.
Right.
But you learn to forgive them and move on, whether they want to accept forgiveness or what have you. Otherwise, they'll just eat away at you and you wind up looking 50 years older than what you are.
Right. Dixie, then Brandon.
There's things that I've done that I can't apologize for my teaching, but doing that daily would be amazing of how else can I impact that.
Okay. Randy.
I like to say, faith is not knowing what the future holds, but knowing who holds the future.
Right. Absolutely. So we only got a couple of minutes. I want to say, bring us back around. We started off by if you were going to put a team together, right? These are qualities and characteristics of people who follow Jesus. And I think we learned this morning, they're messed up just like we are. They're struggling just like we are. And poor in spirit is recognizing I'm struggling. Recognizing I don't have it all together in every area of my life. And that I need God. And I rely on God. And I'm trusting God. So someone who's going to follow God first has to get to that point. If I'm not at that point, then I'm going to be following God from a distance. I'm not going to go all in. Because I think I can still do it on my own. I might even take the step and become a Christian, but still not go all in. Because I'm holding on to something. But the point is, as we're wrapping this up, blessed are the poor in spirit, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. So you got nothing to give God, but you get everything. He's the one that gives, we're the one that receives. And in receiving, we give back ourselves out of love and respect for the gift and the gift giver. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. God didn't say, get away from me. He, in fact, says, I came looking for you. And I'm going to run across this field, pull my britches up and hug you and embrace you. Blessed are the humble, for they will inherit the earth. Got nothing. Kind of like when Paul says, don't think of yourselves more highly than you ought. To see ourselves, and Jesus is the image bearer. To see ourselves before him, we don't ever arrive. It's not to beat ourselves up, it's to see ourselves in him.
I want to just say that I don't think of ourselves more highly than we haven't let it go, then we're thinking, where we're driving.
Good insight. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. I've been hungry, right? And you've been hungry. And yesterday, Jennifer and I walked over to Arsenal Park to watch the counselor where she works, her boss, perform a concert. And we didn't take any water with us. Bad idea. We got hot, we got thirsty. By the time we got back, my mouth was dry, my tongue was sticking to the top of my mouth. I was wanting water. First thing I did when I got in my daughter's house, I grabbed a cup, put it in the water, and filled it up. But when we hunger and thirst for Jesus' righteousness, we're made right by him. Our hunger drives us, does it not? Thirst drives us, does it not? And then, blessed are the merciful, so they will be shown mercy. There are going to be some people who don't deserve it in our minds. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Jesus shows us mercy, and he's called us to love others as he loved us, which is to show mercy, which falls back into being humble, which falls back to being poor in spirit, which falls back with being his image bearer. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. That gets to our motivation, our desire, what's driving us. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. There's going to be times when we are standing between two people bringing peace. But it's not just that in an earthly standpoint. It's helping people come to know God, to come to know him, and to show how to bring peace between God and them, which restores that relationship, and that relationship also restores our relationships. And then last, blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So when you're putting all this stuff together, like I said, I just wanted to kind of chat with y'all this morning. I want to encourage you to take this list and look over it. Not just as a box of checks, but to see where maybe you are stuck, to see where maybe you are strong. And just kind of an evaluation. You take your car in when the red light comes on, we check engine. Or every 3,000 miles or 5,000 miles for oil. You rotate your tires every X number of miles. You change clothes when they start feeling worn. Right? And so it's important that we kind of check where we're at, who we are. Which of these characteristics are we most like? Which ones are we least like? And what might God be able to do in and through me with my willing spirit to become more like that? Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Jesus blessed independence of God